Well, alrighty. Shauna and I just stayed at the Capitol Inn, Tallahassee, Florida. Over here between South Thomasville and Gadsden Street. This house was built in the 30s. Was once supposedly a large home, and then it was converted into an inn. This is the main entrance, although there is no keyless entryway this way. You come around here to the parking area, where you will actually first come into the building. All right. This is the Capitol Inn in Tallahassee. Very nice quaint inn. My wife and I just stayed at for the night. I'm gonna go a little walk here. This is our parking area. Coming through this nice little gate back here at the back. You really do feel kind of quaint and tucked away back here. Not in the middle of everybody's, busyness, but on the other side of the fence there is Whataburger, and then right on the other side of that is Thomasville Road, which we found out last night is a very happening location. And we have a couple different entryways actually. Let me see. Somebody has broken the glass there at some point. All right. This is where Mommy and Daddy hung out. If you kids were here, you could have played chess. Look at that. Nice little library. Seating areas, common areas. Our room was back here. The sitting area. Right here was our room. Nice bathroom, shower, obviously. Nice stuff. Big, spacious, comfortable. It's good textures. It's a very comfortable room, to say the least, for a hotel room. And there's other rooms and potentially, I guess, another library down here too. So we're gonna take a look. May not go anywhere cool after all, we're just looking. Yep, another nooked off area. Each seems to have its own little thing. It looks like you can actually come down here and rent multiple rooms and have your own little tucked away area. I know there's libraries throughout the home. But the idea of being able to section off the room area, I think, is interesting. This place is actually very cool.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I like it.
Yes, everybody's walking around.
Checking it all out, huh?
Yeah.
All right. We have another area up here. Same thing, Tallahassee and Jacksonville room. Okay, so you got 3 rooms up here. So this side of the home There's really 3 levels.
You checking the library?
Yeah, that's actually what I was looking for, to see how many so that one's the one upstairs on the other side, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there is 2 rooms and the library.
Okay. And that's this way.
Uh-huh.
It's a pretty staircase too.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, look at this glass. Wow. Here's the library then. Very relaxing library. And you've got the Key West to Miami room right there. And they have breakfast foods and some snacks, and as well as drinks in the refrigerator for you. Gonna serve yourself. Alrighty. I'm here at Cascades Park. Taking a look. Cool little skyline here of Tallahassee. Historic district, it says. We're gonna see. I think the park actually is on the other side of this fence. My GPS is taking me to like a crosswalk area. Oh, actually, we're gonna see what's up with that. Find a new location to park at and see if we can do something different. It's a nice area. It looks real pretty. They got a good skyline. Something's up. There's a lot of people down that way. It looks like this is like the main community parking and walking areas to get their exercise on. We can go this way and see what we get. So you got public parking up here. Of course, you're in Florida. And anytime you're in Florida, you gotta be careful for wildlife. I don't see too many areas for a snake right now. But I'll tell you this again. Florida will have snakes everywhere. And anywhere you got fresh water, you got a high probability of gators. I mean, I pretty much have like the rule in my family. If it's water, it's got a gator in it. So this is like more of the downtown area of Tallahassee. You got the downtown park here. You got a lot of new areas for living and staying and people doing what they do. Nice railroad track here. Actually, I thought that's what the park was originally. It was one of those parks that are after a railroad has been repurposed. But it is not that. So like I said, the park itself certainly is popular. Nice little lake that the walking path seems to go around. Let's see what's up over there. So we've got some limestone here that the state of Florida is made after. This isn't as porous as you'll see sometimes, but this is that this is before it's been washed out totally. Again, in straw and grass, you got to be careful for different types of serpents. So it's always a good idea to kind of keep yourself away from the edge and keep an eye out for anything laying across the pathway. The last video stopped for a minute there. So it's a nice little spot to find in the middle of Tallahassee. In my opinion, of Tallahassee over the last 24 hours is actually the Tallahassee, while it may be the capital of Florida, is a very calm town. I'm sure when college is in session and all that, there's a lot more going on. Looks like we got a river right here. Tasty river. So that's what's happening here. This is just a glorified retention pond. I see little marks. I don't see any big ones up close, but anyways, it is summertime, so it's warm. We got a waterfall right over there, though. I guess that's why it's called Cascades. We'll see that in a minute. That makes sense now. Another thing that I've picked up on Tallahassee that I'm not that familiar with, being a Floridian, born and raised, is it's very hilly. So if you look, there's quite a bit of rise around town, like up to the Capitol building and all that stuff. You actually go uphill. If you look over here, watch, from where we're at right now, we look straight out. Those buildings over there, well, they're multiple stories. They're only 4 stories or so, 3 or 4 stories, and yet they look like they're 10 or 15 because there's a ridge. So Tallahassee kind of defies your expectation a little bit of what you would find in the state of Florida. You would expect everything to be either flat or lacking in elevation. Just kind of alrighty, back at it. So state capitol is right over there, and I had to get some little prettier shots real fast. I like this little walkway here. Anyways, like I said, what I'm picking up from Tallahassee is a pretty calm and chill area. It's populated. It's got a good population to it. There's a lot going on. But the way it's spread out in the surface streets in it remind me of smaller towns rather than big cities. In fact, I was commenting to my wife that it reminds me of like the downtown area that I live in. in Panama City, which is not very big. It's only a couple blocks, but this is an entire area that's kind of set up that way. Get that shot. Ooh. Anyways, so she's a beaut. And already in the state of Florida, you have so much cool stuff kind of going on for you, but it's just a unique state, and it's fun to be in it. And it's fun also whenever you go, like I said, up here in the North Florida region. Here I am in the state capital, and honestly, compared to Orlando, this like town makes sense. You can get around easily. Everything is like laid out in a good grid pattern. You know where you're going. It's all been established for a while. You get down there to Orlando and everything's new all the time, and it's beautiful. I love it. But wow, is it not busy? By the way, here we go. There's that elevation again. You can see. Not sure if that has something to do with the university. It kind of looks like it would. It's like an observatory or something up there potentially. I don't know. You hear the cicadas in the trees. We have a little wooden pavilion here we're going to check out. Let's see what we got here. Florida Capitol. We got the founding of Tallahassee. In June 1823, Florida Territorial Legislative Council authorized Governor William P. Duval to appoint 2 commissioners to select the site for a new capital somewhere between Ochelockonee and Suwannee Rivers. Dr. William Hayes Simmons left St. Augustine on September 26 by an overland route, and Jolene Williams left Pensacola on December 24th by sea. In late October, the two met at St. Mark's, a settlement at the confluence of the St. Mark's and Wakulla rivers. They traveled approximately 20 miles north to Native American settlement under the leadership of Nemathala, known as the Old Friends of Tallahassee. Nemethla, and other Native leaders had recently signed the Treaty of Moultrie Creek. Florida Territory. Williams and Simmons later recommended Tallahassee as the location of the capital. Governor Duval directed the Legislative Council to meet at the new capitol in November 1824. Later that year, a log cabin was built to serve as Florida's first capitol building. On December 11th, the Legislative Council adopted the existing Muskogee language place named Tallahassee. Huh. Interesting. Let's see here. Let's see what this says. Put this back in. This cool little desk here. Let me see. Her words came out in order, you know. No, she did great.
Challenge it. She might be too far away to carry me, but do you want a pen, like a little?
Oh yeah, sure. All right, so that was the original Capitol building kind of mock model. Just got a text from Shauna saying that after her meeting is done that she's involved in today, they can get a private tour of the state capitol, and I can go. So I'm gonna be doing that here, I guess around 5 or something today. That seems a little late, but okay, whatever. She'll let me know when that's happening. I'm gonna bounce back over to the capitol area for that. Now, this is an interesting fence line. A little gate in it there. Picnic areas, sitting areas. Looks like nice little apartments over here. Cool place to live, stay, rent. I don't know what it is exactly, but I think anytime that you're in the middle of a downtown area like that, it's a cool spot to be at. What's that say? FSU. No, you're good, man. Something going on over there. Oh, it's like a playground for kids. Oh, a splash pad. That's what that is. So they got a splash pad here. Yeah. Splash pad for kids and stuff over there. That's kind of dope, actually. There's a really polluted little lake here. Designed to flood though. This was built for flood retention, it looks like. On the other side you can kind of tell. I don't think it's a pool over there. It looks like a splash pad for kids though. Maybe open to the public. Maybe not. I'm not 100% sure on that either. Amphitheater over this way. I'm gonna look real quick. Got another waterfall. Not really an area to get much foot traffic. There's a brewery across the road. The hotel here. Nothing notable. Great skateboarding location though. That rail's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. I don't know. It'd probably get you pretty hard. But you could, I don't know. It's a pretty good drop. There's a lot of rails though. Beyond my skill sets. Ever. But for sure, at all now. I could ollie, I could grind a board. There ain't no way I could jump these gap things here. Or maybe I probably could have ollied up to that rail, but to bend my knees and get up that high would have caused me probably lose my balance and die. So I can't do that either. There's a waterfall here. So this is their water retention strategy though. It looks like, I don't think this is pumped up here. The boat is running out from underneath us. As it comes from up higher on the hill. And then they dump it down in here. From what I understood, the Cascades were already here. They just beautified them. Could be totally wrong about this. But that's one of the unique and weird things about this city is that it's got varying elevation. So I couldn't help but stop. One, kind of off the elevation change. We were just on the other side of that building. That's where we walked around, and that park is right below that. And we're up that hill that I was filming. And I saw this cool looking building as I was coming up the road, and I said, oh wow, look at that. And I think, at first I thought it was a church, but it's a Leon County Schools Bloxham building, South Calhoun Street. So the county schools for Leon, we'll have to see where that school ranks. We got a beautiful school district office here. The Bloxham building. I think I can get out because I left the car running, of course. Cool little water feature here on the right. Military Wall of Remembrance here. Students whose lives were lost in hostile act or environment. Wow. It's a very cool front of a school building. I wonder if it was originally the actual school. Stuff like this is always so fun. I mean, again, compared to other cities that I've been in, Tallahassee, downtown Tallahassee area is quite quaint. Well, it has a lot of government buildings and large stuff going on. It's not very dense with population, I don't think. So it's very calm. Anyways, I do like it here. The big old oak trees here, all the ones that we had in Panama City are now gone. These are some giants, so I hope they don't cut them down. We had one big one like this that survived Hurricane Michael, a Category 5, went right through the eye of the largest hurricane we've ever experienced in my area, and one of like the top 10 largest hurricanes I think to have ever hit. Anyways, we went through all that with that hurricane, only to have it cut down by the new property owner, and that sucked. A lot of people were upset about it, just for the sheer fact that it's like, hey man, that stupid trees made it through like all kinds of stuff. There's kind of a rule about things that don't die easily. You don't try to kill them. There's a giant one over there, by the way. That tree's a huge one. So you're talking about trees that are hundreds of years old. I mean, Florida's definitely an old city. I mean, old city, old state. And Tallahassee's got a pretty good history to it. But Florida having the oldest city in our state, in St. Augustine, I mean in the nation, in St. Augustine, is impressive. Here we are at Florida State campus. Kind of got a little iconic entrance for them right here, right off College Avenue. Some of your Greek row starts right here on College Avenue. You'll find some Greek homes down that way.